Hey everybody, we're back like immediately after the end of the last episode because that was horrible. just starved to death. What do we get here? Regular Kane, alt path. Okay, there's an alternate universe where we're still having a great time on the run that we died on just because we got hit by a champion. I'm not saying it's not fair. It's actually like the dictionary definition of fairness. That we got one-tapped by an enemy that we knew would one-tap us. But then, like, the next run. Woof. Like, geez Louise, man. We did get a tiers upgrade in 5 floors, so I'm not trying to act like we didn't get a single advantage. That's fair. That's fair. I stepped on some creep there. That's fair. I'm hip. I'm with it. Tucka, 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 tucka. It's very dangerous when you have a Monday morning run go as off the rails as that one did. Because now it's like, it runs the risk of putting you in the tilt zone for the whole week. You know, it's like when you can't be taking damage like that, man. It's like when you start off at an amusement park by going on one of those rides that just spins the bejesus out of you. Well, it's okay, it happens. Then for the rest of the time, you can't even enjoy Behemoth, you can't even enjoy the Wild Beast anymore, because you're just so freaking nauseous from, you know, being on the Cyclone. I am genuinely, by the way, I'm jealous of people that enjoy dizziness to some extent. I don't think anybody enjoys, like, you know, being dizzy outside of their control. But it does seem to me like there are people out there that are like, they find being dizzy fun. Like it's a lack of control. Your vision's compromised. Your head's spinning. But you know, then you try to hit a ball off of a tee at your corporate team building retreat, and everyone goes, ha ha ha. See, even the CEO's not perfect. I have never found dizziness to be enjoyable, though. It's one of those things that, like, if you tell people that, sometimes they'll be like, oh, what, do you just hate fun? And you're like, no, man, it's just like, I don't know if it hits different for some people. But, like, being dizzy is one of the least pleasant feelings, that, you know, I could possibly muster in my entire life. Just something about, it's not like, conceptually, like, oh, I hate feeling like I'm out of control. It's substantially more just like the actual feeling of being dizzy makes me like I'm in pure misery. We're going to the beast. If we're going to the beast, that means we can maybe leverage some bombs to try to find, like, oh, we already found our second secret room. I'm stupid. Enjoy the bomb donation. We'll see you on the next floor. It's not like a I don't like feeling in control feeling. It's it's just the dizziness itself I find just incredibly unpleasant, and I think it lingers. I'm not saying I'm the only person on Earth that experiences this, by the way, but I think it lingers longer for me than it does for the normal person. And, you know, we've covered many times that if I have a serious, you know, biological predisposition to some kind of negativity, number one is probably early onset male pattern baldness, which is not, you know, superficial in the whole scheme of things. Number two is like my inner ear does get a little wonky. It was really bad when I was a kid, and then as an adult, you learn how to deal with it a little bit better. But then, like, as I've gotten a little older, I've noticed it creeping in a little bit more again as well. I don't really get too carsick. Like, you're gonna laugh, maybe, or maybe you won't. Maybe you'll find this, like, annoying, but I only really tend to get carsick, like, if it's hot, or it's early in the morning, or if I'm taking a taxi. I don't know if this is universally true, but, you know, like, it took forever for Uber to come to Vancouver, and then right at the time when it hit, basically the pandemic kicked off, right? So we haven't had much of an opportunity to use it. And I know people are like, screw Uber. I agree from, you know, like the way the company is run standpoint. Also, all those companies are sending me the most annoying emails of all time. Let me hit you with one today. Now, it's nice that there's a coupon, don't get me wrong, but I just resent the marketing. Here's an email I got from DoorDash today. Quotation marks. Will I ever be used? Your 50% off deal. Satisfy your craving for less cash. DoorDash. Save 50% of your next order. You've opened this email, which means you have good taste. They're just getting to the... I'm not mad, but it's like... It's the same thing. I mean, I just laugh at some email marketing sometimes, because, like... I bought some stuff from Reebok, like, once in my entire life. Must have been in my phase before, when they said, and I just need an email address, and I go... Do we have to? And then they go, no. And I go, okay, let's not then. I know you got quotas and stuff like that. I'm just, like, I don't want to give you my email address because it's mine and it's annoying to receive all the marketing. And also, the company that you work for probably, you know, is paying the bottom dollar for, you know, cybersecurity and stuff like that. But anyway, regardless... I must have bought, like, some shoes from Reebok in, like, 2011. I get these emails that are just, like, comical. They're like, preferred customer sale only, limited time. And I'm like, if I'm one of your preferred customers, you are fricked, buddy. Because I think I can't even remember what I got. And it was a decade ago. And I'm still getting, like, 3 emails a week, which I should just unsubscribe to, I guess. But... I get a little Schadenfreude, I guess, out of just being like, seeing how transparent the marketing is. It's funny because I think if you buy a lot of stuff from Reebok, obviously you'd be more likely to open the email because you're a fan of the company to begin with. I got nothing against them, for the record. I'm not sold on Spin to Win. Maybe I should be. Hold on. But I think also, if you actually bought, like, 2 things from Reebok a year, you might be like, oh, preferred customer. Yeah, it doesn't give us invincibility, right? Or it doesn't give us much, maybe? I don't know. It seems like it's a little too dangerous for me. You might actually believe you're a preferred customer at that point, whereas I am obviously aware of the fact that I'm not. But anyway, so, like, taxis here, and I'm sure in many places throughout the world, have a very bad reputation for, hey, the card machine doesn't work, can I drive you to an ATM instead? Hey, you know, talking on the phone the entire time that they're driving, which trust me, I get it. I'm sure after you've done it for a while, it's a pretty, like, boring job. And then also driving, like, they're insane. Like, gunning it as fast as possible, you know, tailing cars at an unsafe distance, making, like, hasty lane changes that at the end of the day probably save you, like, 45 seconds of getting to the destination. That kind of driving makes me car sick. And people try to do, like, they have an answer for everything. It's because they're trying to get you to the destination faster. Yeah, like, I know. But I would rather, like, arrive at the destination either, you know, like, alive or comfortable. Okay, take me down. Yeah, don't even look, man. Don't even look. Don't even look. We're gonna go angel deals here. I got faith. We could have had a better chance to get Guppy for sure, and we don't have a whole lot of floors to make this happen, but... So that was the typical way that I got car sickness, but... Oh, as a kid, it was terrible, man. One of my first real memories. I have memories that I'm pretty sure are composites from my family telling me things that I did when I was like 2 or 3 years old, and then in my brain, I'm like, I remember that, because look at this, I've got all this rich detail, but I'm pretty sure it's just because, like, every Thanksgiving for 10 years, I heard it growing up, but, one of my very first real memories is, like, we were on a road trip to Nova Scotia. I got super car sick. And I think that a lot of the car sickness triggers I have now are actually related to how I got car sick in the first place. Like, you know, it was a hot day in the summer. It was like an old Ford Windstar, which was a minivan. I was sitting in the back, which is, like, the worst place you can sit, but I was also a child. And it had cloth seats that just, like, you know, they get an aroma when it gets hot. It's not necessarily a bad aroma, but now it just smelling like a hot cloth car seat. Oh, what a dodge. in the middle of the summer is like enough to almost make me want to throw up even before the car starts driving. I'm not sweating it yet. We're on Flooded Caves 1. Like, don't cry about your HP. I will say it was a bold decision for them to remove HP ups from the game. I thought those were kind of like a foundational element of, you know, being able to win an Isaac run. But I guess maybe I'm mistaken. Can I give you my real nausea tip from somebody who has not crippling, but very annoying nausea in a lot of situations related to like motion sickness or video games, honestly. As soon as you start feeling nauseous, take the VR headset off. You know, stop playing Portal for like half an hour. If you let yourself get to the point, I suppose we might as well at this point. Okay, yeah. If you let yourself get to the point where you're actually, like, feeling super sick, it can honestly take, like, an hour or two to get yourself back to the baseline. Like, if I start a stream playing something that has, like, a locked FOV, horrible motion blur, a variable low frame rate, and, like, you know, is first person, then, like, it can honestly make me feel sick until I finish the stream and get a chance to just, like, drink 2 liters of water and sit in the dark room. If you stop, like, as soon as you start to notice, which I've been trying to do on stream when it's happened lately, it's been a big help for sure. You don't always have the option. If you're a passenger in a car, it's very tough. Sometimes you just gotta eat it. But anyway. And by the way, I know people they're always fishing for, like, they think they're the funniest people on the planet. Have you considered not being a baby about it? That's a really good joke. Here's another few good ones you can add to your repertoire. Working hard or hardly working. That one really brings the house down, the retirement home at least. Hot enough for you on a day that's very warm. You can also, this one is particular to the Canada-US dynamic. If someone says something is, you know, $6 Canadian, you go, oh, what is that, 15 cents American? That's a really good one that really reflects well on you. Really makes you seem like a good person. Joke's on you anyway, I get paid in American dollars, so who's laughing? It's just, you know. Hey, and let me guess, do you polish your head? Hey, when you wash your face, how do you know how high to go? Hey, whoa, I'm not bald, it's a solar-powered frickin' machine. I'm gonna make space, and I'm gonna dip. There you go. Look at that, man. It's not, like, you know, you can't just, like, choose not to get nauseous. Congrats, you don't get nauseous. You probably do still pull down your jeans all the way to your ankles to urinate, but, like, at least you don't get nauseous. Hey, how did you know that? How did you know that? I really, we should, right? I gotta put it back into my brain. Oh my god, just an item of some value, please. Every time I play Kane, I always say something about his pills, and then everyone goes, it hasn't been like that for 6 years, and I always go, really? But then I forget what I say. I can't remember whether I always think Kane doesn't get good pills, and then people are like, no, he's gotten good pills forever, or if I'm like, oh, Kane always gets good pills, and then people are like, no, it hasn't been that way since Rebirth came out. Like, send it, brother. This is our moment. Mega fatty, kind of annoying, but at least, honestly, for all the negativity I've been suggesting here, having poison bombs is actually a really decent... It's a way to bridge the gap. Now, unfortunately, it costs us a bomb every time we do it, but it does make a difference. It's exactly what I wanted to happen. Good timing, good discipline on the bombs. We're saving one in case an angel statue shows up, you know. Might end up being something we want to fight. We got super lucky. That was a 9% chance. take the strictly better option. Star of Bethlehem is totally fine. I think it is useless on the late game fights, like the Beast and Dogma, who I'm just gonna keep calling Dogma Plus, honestly. But it's still there's some positivity to be had there. I would like to say, as petty as this might seem, at some point, even though that's a good item, I would really like be over the moon if I could just get something that affected our moment-to-moment stats instead of like we promise in the future like this is gonna crush. I mean, this is we're basically playing chess right here. It's not an easy one. Hey, yo, okie dokie. Good. Just keep, yeah. Keep it pumping. Look at this. Blue Fire, undefeated, huh? It's defeated several of my tainted lost runs. We should be shooting as well. It just takes up a little bit too much of my mental, of my mental. Okay, down to the next floor. Down to the next floor. Here we go. That floor changed everything for us potentially, and in particular the. You know, that 9% angel chance. Like, who knows what this run looks like if we don't get that. So, we should... And it's a bad habit, man. Like, we should learn that it's very important to follow the Star of Bethlehem. You might as well at least, you know, follow it to the boss. Get an advantage! Oh, it's coming this way anyway. Get an advantage on all the rooms that are en route to the boss fight. No, we definitely are happy with what we got here. So you're coming down. You're coming. This is the way you decided to get from room to room? You didn't just move to the left 2 times? Am I wrong? Maybe it was just positioning to go elsewhere? Because it is not here yet. Where the heck was it? Does it go through secret rooms? Maybe? I bet it does. Because that's the only explanation I could think of for why I was moving this way. So I bet that's... No? Okay. Well, I mean, I suppose that could still be a secret room. It's just unlikely. I don't know, man. I'm now lost. But, you know, what else is new? Good stuff. Money? No money. So, you must have gone up then. This room's fast. We can catch up with it. I mean, it's not the speediest trinket on the block. Mostly because it's not even a trinket. Either way, it's chilling on the boss room. We'll try to remember next floor. Just follow the Star of Bethlehem, especially when your stats suck. Like, a massive improvement like that is obviously a big help. Now, when I said our stats suck, I'm sure that speed was like crying. Literally shaking right now. Our speed, I wasn't talking about you, okay? Speed, you're doing great. Unfortunately, that doesn't mean that much for us. Like a birthday or a pretty view, that's lovely. Definitely a bomb. More money equals more spirit hearts. Unfortunately, neither of those are applicable. A shop with a lot of interesting stuff. Definitely step 1. Trinket Smelter. Or the playing card, I think. But the Smelty Delty is great here. It's Joker. Okay, that's beautiful. We do have, you know what? 5 cents. Let me work with this one. We're not in a rush. Caves too. I mean, well, obviously. We're not in a rush, for one. We would definitely find it, in my opinion, worth going back for the Soul of Apollyon, or whatever that fly is, Apollyon's best friend. Because we're really, like, starved for... that's creep, right? We're starved for, like, any kind of damage. We got a deal that's honestly just stunning. Give me the stapler. I believe I have my stapler. Duality is bugged, but I'll take it anyway, and we'll try to maximize our chances of getting more angel deals in the future. But we only have 2 floors left. I might just Joker card ASAP on the next floor. Even if it's a devil deal, I mean, what do we care? We're not fighting Mega Satan to begin with. We're just doing this. I mean, we get consumables for finishing this on top of everything else, but I think that we would not mind smelting. Well, you know what? Now that I think about it, we could also just not smelt it and not have to buy the battery charge. That was just terrible dodging. And we could just carry it with us instead. I mean, there's not much game left. To be honest, we're really close to sort of like the end of the road for ourselves here. So let's use a bomb to get this instead. Let's see what it's a temperance, 5 random pills. Use it. Something's wrong. Lock up. Lemon party. Experimental pill for a speed up. Okay, so Kane only gets good pills. There you go. Was that a better use of our time there? Maybe yes, maybe no. And that's the bottom line. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So at this point, the run is still like mega hot. I don't think we've got a guaranteed victory. However, we do have we got to start. We're started, okay? We'll go back in there. Okay, I wish we knew what this was. I'm a big believer in taking this one. Eucharist is a guaranteed angel deal every floor. At this point, knowing that we have 1 floor left, it's kind of stinky compared to what could have been in there. But it's you know, I mean, it paid for itself at least. Who knows? There is a chance that if we had not used the Joker card, you know, we would have gotten a deal with the devil on this floor and not gotten one on the next floor. I don't know. I'm going through like too many different causalities here. Just keep an eye on Star of Bethlehem, man. Like, I can't. You know what? I'm out. See you later. I'm done pussyfooting around on this run. We'll take some time just to peep this. Okay, I deserve that. I was getting a little greedy. I'll take it to Gaz. Love the Spirit Hearts. Stapler was such a huge get, but the run is still... It's just weird. It's just I'm not trying to act like it's the worst run I've ever seen in my life. Just kind of a weird run. Now we're doing like a permanent escort mission with Star of Bethlehem. And honestly, I'm here for it, because like... You know, it's like Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan. It's like, you know, they've got their own sensibilities individually, but, you know, once you get them together, I mean, it's dynamite. You ever notice, and we've talked about this a lot, but it is one of the few things that I'm an expert in, is watching Netflix. It's crazy to me how openly companies will just lie to you and resist the temptation to be like, oh, he's finally finding out about late-stage capitalism. You know, it's just the preamble to the joke here. Not everything has to be an intro to this is why you need to read Das Kapital. Let's see. Hierophant is like some bone hearts. It's double bone hearts. That might not be so bad, honestly. Saved. But, like, the company... known as Netflix, maybe you're familiar with them. They're pretty popular in today's day and age. They have a section on the website, on the app, that's called Popular on Netflix, and it's literally just lies. They have, like, you know, popular in your country. I don't doubt that those charts are probably more legitimate. I say more legitimate because... You know, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they fudged the numbers a little to make... Definitely. To make it... And we've already been in there. Let's go find our item room, hopefully. I wouldn't be surprised if they fudge the numbers to make the Netflix originals look a little bit better than they are, but maybe not, honestly. It could, I mean, I have to almost believe that the charts are real, because if the charts are fake, I can't imagine like a cynical business type reason for why they would be promoting NBC Superstore so much. But the popular on Netflix section is literally just lies. These are not, I mean, it depends. I guess if you want to talk in legalese, you know, maybe it's not lies, because popular is a word that can do a lot of heavy lifting. However, I watch a lot of garbage. DJ Qualls' movie, The New Guy, where he breaks his phallus and then has to transfer schools and reinvents himself as like a cool guy, and then it all comes crashing down until it all comes building back up. I've watched 3.5 Scary Movies over the past couple of weeks. I watched Norbit, obviously. We got a lot of mileage out of the Norbit bit. All the Austin Powers movies, and now Netflix is, and by the way, people will be like, why are you watching so much garbage? And I'm like, what do you want me to watch? Too Hot to Handle? That's all they're making these days is, you know, hey, we took an old car and made it nice, or like, hey, we took somebody's crappy old house and made it nice. I don't want to watch that stuff. Or like, hey, we dared hot people not to have, you know, relations with each other. It's not interesting to me. I'd rather relive my adolescence. So now, every time I go to popular on Netflix, which is one of like the first tabs, it's expecting me to just like suspend all of the disbelief that I could possibly suspend in my entire life. It's like, you know what's really popular on Netflix right now is the Broken Lizard movie, Club Dread. Now, if it said Super Troopers, I'd be like, okay. If it said the Slammin' Salmon, I'd be like, I could believe that. But Club Dread, the Broken Lizard movie that nobody likes at all, is a really good sign, by the way, when you're this deep into a run. You've gotten 2 damage upgrades, and you still had the doors open up for you. That I'll take responsibility for that. I think it's largely my own fault for being a little passive there, but I don't buy it. I simply can't buy it. It's not realistic, right? Like, I want to go to Netflix right now. I just don't want the Netflix sound to play and DMCA me. Well, you know what? I got my phone on me. No, I don't. Okay, never mind. But it's constantly trying to trick me into the idea that these absolutely awful, like, gross-out mid-2000s movies are the most popular thing on the platform. And I'm like, I know what the most popular thing on the platform is. It's AP Bio, that new movie starring Dave Bautista... Jason Statham, my mistake, and that new movie starring Jason Momoa. You can't convince me that there's been like a sudden groundswell in the kind of garbage I'm uniquely interested in. So I don't know, man. It's class action lawsuit incoming. Your Honor, Reed Hastings and Netflix Incorporated suggested to me that Austin Powers in Gold member was popular on Netflix. Would you say 7 views, all emanating from my client's user account, equates to popular for a website with 200 million active subscribers? I don't think so. Ergo, I rest my case. I don't know what they have to give me. Maybe they could give me 4K access for free. It blew my mind, by the way, to find out, and it was in a bad way, but to find out that the Austin Powers theme was a previously composed song. I know it's composed by Quincy Jones. In the movie, he goes, "The inimitable Quincy Jones!" And then they play like a really mournful, like, orchestra version of it. So don't, you know, go ahead, flex on your trivia knowledge, Ken Jennings, but I already knew that. But I really loved the idea that Quincy Jones just actually hit like a walk-off grand slam for this weird kind of like farce. And he composed like one of the best movie themes of all time for Austin Powers of all things. Unfortunately, I guess it was an individual song from earlier in his career, which is fine, because it doesn't change the value of the piece. However... how funny would it be if it was actually, like, Mike Myers was like, hey, Quincy Jones, can you compose a song for Austin Powers? And Quincy Jones was like, I'm about to make this man's whole career. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Now Tech X. Oh, you coward. Get back here. You're a fake and a fraud. You're not an intellectual. I think this is good. It seems good. Even if just for piercing shots, it seems good. Okay, so I have not paid any attention to Star of Bethlehem here at all, for the record. 2 of spades? Sure, don't mind if I do. How sick would it have been if it was Tech X, too? Or even Tech Point 5. It's a good lesson in Isaac, you know? If you just manage to hold it together long enough, all of a sudden things don't start to look so bad. Isn't that what the Oracle says in the Matrix? Don't worry about the vase. What vase? That vase. Everything will be right as rain. What do you think about the Matrix 4? Can I be rude? It's gonna suck, right? I've been wrong before. Not as often as I'm right, and I say that from as unbiased a position as I can get, which is not very unbiased at all, because it's about me. My movie radar is not perfect, but it's okay. Oh my god. No, thank you. All signs point to it being bad. I mean, like, it's been... almost, I mean, by the time it comes out, it will have been 25 years since the first Matrix. We Need the Fool card, I very, very nearly forgot. The first Matrix was amazing. The subsequent Matrix sequels are, at best, watchable, but most people seem to, especially I find, like, the third one, very tedious, but okay. The Wachowskis have done stuff of varying success since then. Speed Racer was a little bit panned at release, but has come to become a little bit of like a cult classic, I suppose. You know, Jupiter Ascending, a little bit reviled, but also well-liked by the so bad it's good crowd, I suppose. It exists somewhere here. It insists upon itself. Oh, there it is. I don't care for the D20 right now. I will abstain. And then, like, I mean, we're 25... my central thesis for making this prediction, which could be wrong, is that we're 25 years on from the last good Matrix movie, and 2/3 of the trilogy is just not particularly good. Oh, now that, on the other hand, is particularly good. And we got some serious hurting power here. Look at this. No one, by the way, would want it to be good more than me, except for maybe everybody involved with its production, and the people who showed up to the Matrix Reloaded premiere dressed like Neo. I don't know if you've ever seen that video. It's not cringe. I would say not cringe. But a bunch of people who were really, like, into the Matrix. And if you weren't there, man, if you were, like, 2 when this happened, you'll never understand, okay? I wouldn't expect you to understand, Mom. But the Matrix was, like, a cultural, event. So when the sequel came out, after waiting for, like, 4 years, it was a big deal. You know, people were heavily stoked for it. It made a staggering amount of money at the box office. I still think the second one is, like, kind of okay. But it's a bunch of people, like, lined up, and they've been lined up for, like, days to see the movie. And then when the local news interviews them, they go, like, you know, Themistocles, hacker. Like, they all introduce themselves with, like, a Matrix-type pseudonym. I'm inclined to say that that's kind of sick. You can't be cringe if you're that free. Again, it's just It's that simple. Okay, what do we need on this run to make this work? I'm not against this, for the record, but a little, a great card. You gotta take the pills. I gotta have my pops. A great card would go along with... Lemon Party! Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Pretty not good. Sorry, I punched my microphone there. But I'm glad we kind of got back on the horse on this one, right? Like, this didn't look like it was going to be a 10 out of 10. Oh, huge growth is exactly what we want. This didn't look like it was going to, you know, blow the doors off. You're only supposed to blow the bloody doors off. But I really worried that we were on the start of, you know, some kind of, like, terrible pseudo streak of... Oh, these don't hit the buttons? Mom, Dad, can't you see you're in love with each other? By the way, I do need to add, like, if we're fact-checking that addendum bit, like the end of No Stupid Questions, Ryan suggested the most popular thing on Netflix is NBC Superstore. That's false. The most popular thing on Netflix is actually the most recent show that they added about people who aren't good at baking cakes. However, in Canada, where Peacock does not exist yet, The Office is still on Netflix, and as a result, The Office remains the most popular show on Canadian Netflix. Hey, hey, hey! And she was... Okay, that's way too deep of a reference to a podcast, but... Keep it going here. Keep it going, man. Caves 1. Star of Bethlehem, not so good on the way up, huh? You know what? We owe it to you to give you some entertainment. You ready for this? This is called I Will Stop at Nothing to Get a Spirit Heart. Halfway there. Ah, son of a... You know what? Forget it. That was still pretty good diagonal walking. I'm not upset with that. And just to keep in mind... Huge growth is going to be sick, but we got to keep our HP high so that we can get, so that we can maintain the Crown of Light, which would be a big deal if we lost, unfortunately. But we will not lose this run. It's exceptionally unlikely. Hey, do you ever consider, like, not having more HP than Hush, for example? And then also spawning enemies when you die. So rude, man. Like, no manners. It's almost like when I was at that store and they wouldn't let me buy a sled unless I bought it with in-store pickup, but they couldn't give me in-store pickup even though I was in the store. They had to get me to come back tomorrow to do in-store pickup. I mean, come on. What is my $4 no good here? Experimental pill, aka just free stat. Look at that. Free damage. Man, that enemy that we were mad at legitimately has more HP, probably in triplicate, because triples is best, than Baby Plum, an actual boss, huh? Baby Plum, do 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 do. Baby Plum, do 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 do. Dude, Kate's been telling me stories of when she takes the baby to activity gym. It's a lot like, you know, being in your first day of school, even as an adult, because you're meeting... Dude, you gotta stick with huge growth. And people will probably be like, why not use that to get into the walls? Well, because... Fortune teller? No. You can't find secret rooms on the way up. That's what I've been told by reliable sources. You can't find like red secret rooms on the way up, unfortunately. Otherwise, I'd be all in, man. But often, like the adults, they're, you know, not shy necessarily, but you're talking in this voice the whole time, and then the instructor will say something like, you know, do we have a favorite song that we can sing? And then you're like, am I really gonna be like, the Itsy Bitsy Spider? You know, like, I'm just like, please just suggest the song. But Kate's been telling me is some of the classes that she goes to, I'm not gonna be like, you know, roundabout by yes, but how sick would it be if the instructor pulled out a you know, Spanish guitar. Boom, the babies would have no idea what was going on. Yet, but they wouldn't know that they're in the presence of greatness. Anyway, what was I saying? Kate said that there's like some more extroverted people in her classes, and they keep suggesting songs, but they suggest songs that they don't realize are like, you know, when we sing like if you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. It's like 15 seconds. It's like if you're happy and you know it, and you really want to show it. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. If you're happy, sometimes we do stomp your feet if we have time, but not always. But they'll suggest like, you know, 5 Little Ducks Came Back, which if you've never heard it, it starts with like, you know, you mommy duck, 5 little ducks, and something, don't really know it. 4 little ducks came back, and it's that, and then there's a twist ending at the end where like all 5 come back, so they're not actually dead. Well, I lost Crown of Light for no reason. I'm gonna pop huge growth rate here because I'm mad at myself. But also because we start with Holy Mantle on the Beast fight. My god, the man's a genius. And with Holy Mantle on the Beast fight, it should be a lot easier for us to preserve and persevere. Oh, that was just boomer reactions. Not boomer reactions. Not boomer reactions. Don't stand here. Ooh, please don't stand so close to thee. Star of Bethlehem, you're doing some absolutely fantastic work. I'm considering the juice worth the squeeze right now. No Beyblades. No Beyblades. Beautiful. That could have gone worse. It certainly also could have gone better. But let's just work on, like, preserving our Crown of Light. Oh, okay, because we don't have red hearts. That's not how that works. Okay, well, you know, just settle in. I don't think it's going to be super long. The irony, of course, is that in trying to maximize our use of Star of Bethlehem, I am going to cost us... basically, this fight should last twice as long as a result. But that's okay. I'll take some responsibility for that. I would have thought, personally, at some point we would be able to, like, you know, kill flies, but I've been wrong before. You remember when I said, that's alright? I regret saying that, because it is alright, but it's still also, like, mega annoying. I don't hate the beast fight. Like, I really think they did a great job adding a boss that has some spectacle to it. What a dodge, by the way. What a dodge. But I mean, it's like, when your damage is rough, it's a bit of a slog. But hey, when your damage is rough, maybe you shouldn't be doing the beast fight, whether randomizer told you to or not. We're doing a good job of getting in there with our bombs. We don't have a ton. I mean, as you know, I don't really care. That was bad. I don't really care to use our bombs on the actual beast fight. Like, this is the much more annoying part of it. For me, at least. Okay, I'll take it. Lucky us. Lucky us. Red hearts somewhere? I don't know. Maybe? Probably not. Nope. So just being able to squeeze a little extra. I'm just trying to drop a bomb on you, my man. Being able to squeeze a little extra damage out of the bombs on this is advantageous. We lost... Oh, okay, we lost Holy Mantle and HP. Hey, excuse me, we have full HP now? You know what? We should have actually deliberately lost some HP before coming into this fight. Then we would have started with Crown of Light again. I didn't even think about that, but it's a bit of a galaxy brain maneuver. Crown of Light, please. I mean, it's wishful thinking, don't get me wrong. Okay, missed with one. This little maneuver is going to cost us 84 years. We really should not die. Now, that's a big change from where we were at, you know, recently, where I was like, we will not die. Nope. Nope. But I'm optimistic. I think it's just gonna be annoying. And honestly, like, depression's actually doing some work for us here. That's fine. I shouldn't have been standing there, probably. Alright, so clear my schedule. This is the rest of my late morning here. And you know what? That's okay. All you gotta do, if you can just keep your brain screwed on straight for this part, I'm not gonna say it's, like, impossible to lose, but it's unlikely. The camera is super jank, but if you'll excuse me, I'm never going to fix it. Because last time I fixed it, it ended up screwing up, like, all of my screen regions forever. Which is not your fault for suggesting that it looks bad. You're absolutely right. There's some irony here in that we were talking about, like, motion sickness and stuff, and this camera might make you a little annoyed. In which case, I encourage you to just click the like button and turn away. Because I just take my word for it. Source, dude, just trust me. We will win this run. It is funny that, like, this boss is actually, like, one of the easiest bosses to kill. Or not kill, but, like, to not get hit by anything. Despite being, like, a super late game boss, like, I mean, the latest, really, all of the, except for that, all of the damage that comes out is basically, like, so predictable. It's nearly impossible to get hit. This is also a little dangerous. This is, if you ever see this attack, you know you're on, like, the longest beast fight you'll ever get. Riveting. Well, there we go. I was hoping... Okay. I was hoping as some... I might die. Okay. I acknowledge that now. I was hoping at some point, though, you would show visible signs of distress. Please don't. Not this again. Please. I get it. It's like it's supposed to be harrowing, but we're not there right now. We're not at harrowing. We're at, you know, hair pulling, and not in a good way. What a way to phrase that. Okay, I mean, I'll do you one better. I think we will die. There we go. And I'm not even upset because that was my throw. That's not an Isaac slump. I was killed by Mexico or maybe Panama. I think was killed by the Horn of South Africa. It just goes to show you, I don't know if people, like, want me to be upset. If they're like, your hubris killed you, well, maybe it did. So be it. Either way, I'll be back. Thanks for watching. It was a good run in spite of the end of it. If you enjoyed it, click the like button, and it's a lesson learned. See you next time.